Well, international trips, a lot of bonding and everything. How did it come to be? How did this trip come to be?
Well, it came to be from years ago, and we got here in 2015, and we said we want to be a national program and do what the best are doing, which is take a tour every 4 years, and our program hadn't really been doing that. So we took one in 2018 to Australia, and then we were preparing for 2022, but COVID hit, and we didn't want to use one of our rare once every 4-year opportunities when there are COVID restrictions. So 2023 became the year, and things started moving to Japan, and we're excited to go. Behind you guys are seeing, behind me, the start of our 10th practice, and we leave tomorrow, so exciting time.
Why Japan? Why
A lot of great countries out there, a lot of great opportunities for us and possibilities, and obviously the Pacific Rim is at the forefront. Australia made sense last time. We could have gone back there. We look forward to going back there, New Zealand, things like that. But then clear momentum towards Japan, try something different. Obviously there's strong synergy and relationship between Hawaii and Japan. And obviously it's nice to have that kind of a coincidence, but then we signed our first basketball player from Japan at the same time. So he got here a couple weeks ago, goes right to Kauai, goes right back to Japan. It's been a nice couple weeks for him.
How nice do you think that is for him to be able to come in here, everyone on this team takes him in, shows him around, tries to get him comfortable with this place, and then a week later he gets to return the favor. How much did that help with the bonding of his team?
Yeah, it's awesome. He was really homesick. It's been 8 days. No, I think the reality is, he's really assimilated himself really well. The guys have really helped him. We've had our guys all summer and even into these tour practices, and he basically came in the middle. And we haven't had much time to just take him on the side, so we just kind of threw him in the fire. His attitude's been great about it. He's behind because he's didn't start at the same time, but he's fearless in terms of throwing himself in there. And the guys have been helping with him. And what helps him too is just like that, now he's got to help us. And so that will help him, find his personality, find his voice, find his place with the group. It's a great group, obviously everybody gets along really well. And I keep saying this recently, it's pretty unique to have 8 countries and 6 continents on one team. It's pretty cool.
Coach, you talked about you guys go with Australia in 18, and then you guys have the thing of just Australian players kind of into the program. You guys just signed your first Japanese players here with Akira, but you guys go on this trip. How big is this trip to get your brand and your team out to these Japanese kids that in a couple of years or next year down the line, I think they're playing college basketball in the state. What this trip be as far as getting into these international players?
Well, I've said it's all encompassing, right? Just like our Goodwill events, like you're giving back, you're growing the game, you're immersing yourself in cultures, whether it's our island, other countries. It's funny because a lot of times when people have international players, they have 2 or 3 from the same country, and over the years we've mixed it up, and you can see that even on this group. 8 different countries. I think we have 2 from Australia, New Zealand, Serbia, Japan, Senegal, Brazil, Belgium, 2 from North Carolina, by the way. So it's the best. It's awesome. But we have a responsibility. We are ambassadors from our program, from the athletics department, this university, this state, from the United States, things like that, into a great country. And so, in some other cases, Australia, a lot of our staff had been there. We had guys from there. And in this case, we have 1 staff member and 1 player who just got here who has ever been to Japan. So we're all learning at the same time, and that's what experiences are all about. So we're really excited about it. We're looking forward to it. And just like that, it's around the corner.
This is your 10th bonus practice.
Yes.
Where were you guys now in terms of development as opposed to where you were last year?
Well, obviously you're ahead at this point. I always say continuity is a big number. It's not the same number as it used to be as the landscape has changed. But 9 returners in this day and age is a lot. But you don't usually at this time of the year have 2 to 3 hour practices 10 times. You have 4 hours of basketball with them a week for the summer. So that's a significant difference. And obviously you're playing games and practices, so we're not where we would normally be for games, but we have enough to work with for games coming up. And that will help us in the long term.
When you look at big picture, these 10 practices, 10 days of traveling, guys rooming together,
no question.
How much is that the foundation of what you're allowed to take this team to once the season starts?
Yeah, it's a great question because most people, when they hear about the tour, they go the country and the games. The reality is the 10 practices, the travel together, the hotel, the bus, the bullet train, I guess, coming up. Those are just different bonding experiences. And, each group forms their own identity, their own personality. The blueprint's pretty similar about team, about sharing, and we have 9 returners, but those 9 returners have grown, and now we bring in some newcomers who add their personalities to this group, and then this group finds their own as they go through the ups and downs and the travels and tribulations and things like that. So we're just looking forward to, we have an idea, but we're open-minded to see, guys are competing for spots and see how this team comes together. It's going to be fun to watch.
So culturally speaking, what do you think young men can glean from this experience as far as Japan's, their attention to detail, their precision? Talk about the train, the schedules run to the second. I mean, does that kind of fall in line with what you kind of try to preach as far as respecting the process?
We take great pride in representing our program in a first-class manner, very professional, very respectful, and we're going to a country that shares similar values. Obviously, those values are shared not just by our program, but by our university and the state. But you're always learning and growing and trying to implement it into who you are individually and collectively, just like we've all learned, and in this case, from all the countries I mentioned earlier. Everybody's got a great thing, and everybody can learn from each other, and that's what this is about. And I'm excited. I've never been to Japan. You hear so many great things, and now you have a player from Japan, and you have a lot of family and friends from Japan, and obviously people who live here now, but there's nothing like up close and personal. And so that will be a life-changing experience for everybody who gets to go.
What is the one thing you're looking forward to about Japan? Like you said, you haven't been there before, but now you get to go. What's that one thing you're really looking forward to?
There's so many, and so you're putting me on the spot. I would normally say maybe the weather more, but I know it's going to be a little hotter. But I'm used to the East Coast humidity. I heard it might be even hotter. But I'll say, well, number one, the food. I love the food, Japanese food in general, but obviously having Japanese food in Japan is going to be an experience. If I added one, it's probably visiting some of these very memorable sites, going to Hiroshima, things like that. So just the food and all you've read about and heard about, getting to see them in person. And then, I should have said this, being able to share that experience together.
What are the places that be a must go to? Must-see places that you got to go to on this trip?
Yeah. Well, I like what they have set up. Obviously, you're going to see a Giants game to Hiroshima, and then also going to Tokyo Disney Sea. These are all places I think it's a good balance, a lot of cultural and then a lot of fun stuff to do. Hopefully, the team can go to Yokohama, which is my home city, so I think if we're able to do that, that'd be pretty cool. But I like what they have set up there.
Did you know about the trip when you committed?
I was told a few days after I committed, but it was like something that we were like, oh wow, like, if I'm going to, all of a sudden we're just gonna go straight back. So it's pretty fun. Yeah, that's about that.
Yeah, and kind of talk about that. You just got here to the islands, and now right back home. Just kind of talk about that. Just kind of what you're looking forward to as far as the team-wise to get out of this trip.
For the team, it'll be great. It'll be our first games against the other team. So good to see how we can implement what we've been practicing for these past couple days. And then for me, it'll be just more of just adjusting, getting more fitting with the team. So I think it'll be great for me as well as the rest of the team.
Being able to come here and everyone taking you in and showing you around Hawaii and getting you familiar with this place, how excited are you to return the favor now and be able to show your new teammates about where you're from?
Definitely be super cool. Obviously, everyone here on the team, super cool, super nice. As soon as I got here, it seemed like it felt like I just known them forever, even though I've known them for a couple hours. So going back to be able to show, my country, I'm sure they all enjoyed it. They all say they're looking forward to it a lot. So it'll be super fun.
how valuable is this time too? Because you figure you got here a little bit later than some of the other guys, and to be able to have these additional practices, to be able to go up and travel together and room together, how big would that be in the gelling of this team?
Yeah, it's just going to be super important. You know, chemistry is super important for basketball teams. You know, to be able to play with each other. So, you know, these extra practices, going on a foreign trip to a country that a lot of guys haven't been to, it would be great for us to, you know, stick together, learn more about each other. So I think it'll be a great experience.
What did it mean playing in that world tournament for you? What did it mean to you playing in that world tournament?
Oh, the U19 World Cup. Definitely, it was good to be able to play against a lot of already Division I players. So, like, being able to play against those guys before I actually got here, I think it was like good preparation for college basketball, the physicality, the speed, the athleticism of it. So I think it's pretty good for me, and I think I'll be able to implement that experience on the court here.
A lot of Hawaii fans got to see you on social media with a lot of what you did overseas. For those fans, like, what can they expect to see from you on the floor, kind of moving that Hawaii setting?
I think I'd like to show a lot of versatility in my game. Can shoot the ball, can handle, but then also with the height and size I have, be able to play a little bit inside. So just expect to see a lot of versatility and obviously a lot of improvement. It's my first year college basketball, so working with Coach Ganot, Coach Montgomery, Coach Davidson, just see the improvement that I have throughout the year.
So you said you found out about this trip a couple days after committing. So did that kind of like cement everything and say like, wow, that really was the right choice? Because like not everybody gets to go on these trips just once every 5 years. So just the fact that this fell into place.
Yeah, it just seemed like even before learning about the trip, Hawaii just felt like just the right place for me, just overall. And it was like kind of like the cherry on top, just being able to go back to Japan like a week after ending here. So it all just seems to make a lot of sense for me. Yeah.
What is the one thing you'd like your teammates to know about Japan?
Just like it's just a lot about respect there, just being respectful, thinking about others before yourself. That's probably the biggest thing. But everyone here, they already have that attitude, that mindset. So I don't think it'll be too much of an issue for them to adjust to that.